Well, we're out on our morning meanderings. And around us, the swallows are out hunting, and they're quite amazing. Quite an amazing little bird as they hunt. They hunt on the wing, so they swoop and they fly, and they're really aerial acrobats. Well, the swallows are out today. I don't know if you can see them against the dark green. Looking, they must be hungry. Now, the first time I really came across swallows was when I was a little boy, living in West Africa. One of the neighbours, he used to catch birds in a net at night, a drift net, and he would tag them and then release them, and then they would be caught somewhere else. That was the 1960s, late 1960s. And the swallow would travel from Africa up into Europe and then back down into Africa, following the weather. And then on the farm, as you'd be bringing the cows in to milking, and they'd be stirring up all the flies, the swallows would come in and dive bomb the cows. It was just something wonderful to watch as you walked along behind the cows, these little birds dive bombing and flying between the cows. Remarkable acrobatic displays. Now, the swallow is what we call a swallow is probably a barn swallow. There are about 90 species within the family, including the house martin and the barn swallow, tree swallows. But what we tend to call swallows are probably barn swallows, and remarkable little creatures. And you think of how they can travel from Europe down across the Sahara into Africa. It's quite a remarkable and wonderful thing. Now, King David would have seen swallows in his day, and he mentions them in one of his songs. And it's obvious that they've found a home in the temple, and they've built a nest there in the temple. And he says, even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may have her young, a place near your altar. O Lord Almighty, my King and my God, blessed are those who dwell in your house. They are ever praising you. He's having a look around the temple, and he's noticed that the birds have made their nests in the temple. And then maybe he's been told by one of the priests, because he wasn't allowed to go into the inner sanctuary, even as a king, he couldn't go into the inner place. And then maybe he's been told by one of the priests, because he wasn't allowed to go into the inner sanctuary, even as a king, he couldn't go into the inner place. Maybe one of the priests says, yeah, one of them has built a nest right in the Holy of Holies, which doesn't seem right in some ways, but seems absolutely perfect in others. For God is God of man and creature. And then he says, oh, that I may live forever near to God. And that's a lovely and wonderful thought, that we can forever live near to God. And Jesus Christ made it possible. He made it possible for us to live with God and God to live with us, and so that we can spend eternity with him, and just to be near him, our great creator, the one who loves us more than we love ourselves, our sustainer. And that's only made possible because of the work of Jesus Christ, who makes us acceptable in God's sight. He did so by, of course, becoming one of us and dying in our place. And so we watch these little swallows, and their little aerial displays, and amazing where they can build their nests. And we know that God, he cares for us, and he wants us to be with him. Well, from me, my little man. Here you are. Are you still there? What are you eating now? What have you got? What's that? A stick. You got to wait. Wait. Have a good day. God bless you and keep you. Cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace.